Good afternoon, Wisconsin ATV Association followers. My name is Adam Harden for the Wisconsin ATV Association and the Idle Chat online TV show. I would do an applause, but I can't. Anyways, welcome to episode 3. We're going to do a product review of the very popular VVMapping trail map book. This is a reshoot of the original episode where some reason my microphone was really low for the first half of the program. So we are going to reshoot this, and this is what you're watching. If you're wondering where the original episode went, I deleted it. Well, I'm going to delete it. By the time you look at this, I've deleted it. All right, let's get moving along here. With this episode, you will not see me on camera because my camera is now pointed at the table so I can show you the product without having to hold it up to a camera. Not really great for doing product displays if I have to hold the camera or hold the product up the whole time. So, with that said, we're going to get going here. Whoops. Let's jump over to our camera. So what we have here is the ORV Trail Maps of Wisconsin book. Very popular product and a great product to have. Before we get into that, though, I want to put out that this is only one of the many tools that we should have while we're planning to ride or while we are riding. And what I mean is this is a great planning tool for the entire state. It has all the counties in here. But when you get to your local destination, let's take an example, O'Connell County. It's very important to pick up a local map. And the reason I say that is the clubs go through a lot of work putting these local maps together. It's actually where most of the data that we get from, or not most of the data, some of the data that comes into VVMapping is based on these maps. VVMapping has gone out and actually GPSed all the trails themselves. But things change, and they can't be always out there doing that. And the biggest part of doing these local maps is to honor the businesses that sponsor our clubs and honor the sport. All the businesses on this map, for example, paid for these advertisements, which is a fundraiser to the club. And they also show that they honor our riders. You can go into their business. They're not going to turn you away for being an ATVer. Not that many do, but they welcome ATVs and UTVs and the riders. So it's very important to get these maps. These maps are pretty easy to get once you get into the area, or if you're pretty tech savvy, you can email them or give them a call, and they might be able to mail you out something beforehand. If the club doesn't get it, the chambers or the trailheads will have them. Pretty easy to get. So it's very important to get these local maps. So, we always have copies of some of the maps on hand in Burnett County, Price County. That was Oconto County that we were looking at, the folded out version. So, there's also a fold out statewide map that is, again, produced by VVMapping, and it actually has the new UTV law information on it. These are, you can find these online. You can buy them at National Motorsports. Also has the license plate requirements on them. So we put this book together, again, with National Motorsports. It folds out just like a local map does, and it has all the trails for the state on here. It also shows the routes and some of the cities that you can use as a reference to, reference it. So those are the 3 maps that I'm going to say are great to have, the map book for planning or the state trail map, and then the local maps. Everyone's always asking about maps, so this is a great way to get your maps, look at the maps, and use them for navigation. All right, well, let's get right into the ORV Trail Map book. These books are produced by VVMapping. They're over in Michigan. They are, when you order them, they're actually printed on demand, so you're not going to get out-of-date information. They're always updating it, and that's a great feature to have. They don't produce mass numbers of these because they always are changing. So that's how that company addresses the overall changes that we experience in the ATV industry. Trails open and close all the time. So overall, the product itself has a laminated front and back cover on thicker cardstock paper. a metal spiral bind in the middle here, or on the side, which makes it a very durable product. It's one that you can take with you in a bag, perhaps, on the trail, so you can use it for navigation. The inside cover on the first page, they have where you can ride and some information, some laws, the license plate laws in here. Mandatory safety education is in here, so this is all a great resource to have. The next page is our trail index. Now, obviously, our state has a lot of trails in it, over 10,000 miles of trails. Some of the counties have so much trail options that you could not display them on one page, especially an 8.5 by 11 page like this. So we have to break it down into multiple pages, and this is just a trail index to say, Ashland County is on page 13 to 15 and 24 to 27. So you're thinking, well, how do you know where in the county the pages are? That's a good question. And it was asked before, and VVMapping actually came up and said, all right, well, here's what we got. In the back of the book, we actually have the counties and boxes that tell you exactly where to find that trail page. So that is a great resource to have. So it's real easy to find the map that you're looking for, especially when you're planning. So the next page, we just have a map guide. It kind of tells you, or not kind of, it does tell you what all the lines mean. There are a few different lines on here, a little bit more complex than a road map. We have ORV trails, motorcycle trails. Wisconsin does have single-track motorcycle trails in a few different locations. And then routes, ORV routes. Then they list the highways, the expressway, the highway, the county roads, forest roads, private roads, power line and pipelines, railroads, and then points of interest, trail intersections. There's water, either stream or river, or lake or ponds, a city border, county forest, managed forest law, and national forest. So that's a lot of information to have, but it's important to have to know where you're at and to which rules that you have to follow. So we're going to jump into it right away. Right across the page here, we have Douglas County. Each page at the bottom actually tells you exactly what you're looking at here. Forgive me, I've not done one of these before. So looking at Douglas County, off the bat, I can see that there is the village of Superior up here. It's in the darker shaded gray, which we saw on the index or the reference page. And we have trails leading out of Superior. We have some routes going right to the village, but there are a few different choices to go out. And each one of the trail segments in here is actually labeled, and I don't know how well this is going to work or not, but it is labeled with a mileage of how far that trail segment goes. So this trail out here, 1.9 mile here, and then 10 miles here. So that's really important information to have, because you kind of put together, okay, we're going to go about 12, 13 miles, 13 and a half miles actually from Superior to the edge of the trail here. Good to know, especially if you want to know how much fuel you have, or how far you're going to go on the supplies you currently have. As we turn the page, some pages go side by side together. So here we have, we're looking at the northern Wisconsin, Lake Superior area. There are little Wisconsin maps or outlines that kind of show you where you're looking. That's kind of a nice feature too. So you can always see where in the state you are actually looking at. So we got some pretty big trail segments here. We have corridors, and then a lot of routes. All of these roads here are actually routes. And then we have the trail segments here. So we have the Wild Rivers ORV Trail labeled on here, the Tri-County Corridor, which is a really popular trail. That goes a long ways, actually. We'll jump over here. And again, it's pretty much continuing where we left off on the previous page. It says, actually, this is nice too. If the trail goes on to the other page, the page tells you, this one says, see page 4. So, all right, well, let's flip over to page 4. Oh, there we are. Sure enough, we're continuing on to the next page. So we're going to go along here. Again, there's a lot of routes. We see the rivers, Lake Superior, the towns, Iron River. There's gas in Iron River, it shows. And still going with the miles here. So you can always, you have a pretty good idea of how far these trail segments are. And your limits, obviously, is a very important part of riding. So it's going to go through, and again, every county is in here. And if you do get kind of confused or lost, you can always flip to that page that shows what page you want to look at. And that's the overall state outline here with the boxes inside. So you can never really get lost trying to find something because this page is back here. One of the nice features about this product is not only do you have the map, you have all the trail information for the county, but you also have text that that explains what you can expect when you go to that trail system. A great example here, Clark County has a picture. Clark County trails are generally a little bit wider, flat, sandy. And if we take a look at, Chippewa County, we're a little bit more narrow in the hills kind of trail. Bayfield County has really nice wide trails for that. There's pictures throughout these pages showing examples of what you can find when you get there. Not every county has them, but the ones that they have gone through and taken pictures of do show up here. Along with the pictures, we have tells you what pages you can find them at, how many trail miles, how many route miles, are they allowing UTVs at the time, and are they allowing motorcycles? So Chippewa, no for motorcycles, okay for UTV. Clark County, okay for UTV and motorcycles. Some of the counties actually have a description listed, a little write-up of what you can find. That's really handy as well. So that's the trail guide. So we got the maps, we got the trail guide. The back page here just shows a general statewide map again. And this actually has some pretty cool things to remember too, are the signs. There's a sign guide in the back here. So we got the orange marker or the brownish or the brown ORV trail signs, ATV, see a little ATV on them. And then we have the route sign. Make sure to watch for those as well. In one of the upcoming episodes of Idle Chat, we're going to go through the new DNR signing guide. They came out with a new guidebook and some new signs coming out to the trails that you're going to start seeing with joint route signs. So we don't have to have two signs for ATV snowmobile route. And there are some other changes in there too we'll go over. Maybe we can get someone from DNR on with us to kind of go over the changes. So that's the back page, and then the very back cover. It just has a little bit more about VVMapping. So you can find the WATFA logo on here and National Motorsports. This book is available for sale on nationalmotorsports.com. And then click on the e-store. There's a tab actually, or a button right there for maps. We'll bring you there. Not only do we have Wisconsin, but we also have other states as well on that page. So you can pick up, if you're going, some different states are on here. So you want to check that out. And then again, these books are produced by VVMapping. So that is the ORV Trail Map book overview. Because this episode is a reshoot, I'm not really seeing any questions. No one's really watching, which is okay. But at least you can hear me for a replay. And yeah, unless there are any questions, I do actually see some people in the chat. So if you do want to chime in, have any questions, or want to see a specific county, feel free to ask. In an upcoming episode of Idle Chat, we're going to do a live broadcast from Team Winnebago Land over in Oshkosh. Team Winnebago Land is a premier dealer for the Wisconsin ATV Association. That means you can buy memberships to WATFA from Team Winnebago Land. We have a few premier dealers around the state, and that program's working great. Actually, some dealers, if you buy a machine, they give you a year subscription to WATFA or a year membership to WATFA, where you'll get 4 copies of our Trail Tales magazine. And so yeah, you definitely want to check those dealers out too. They go above and beyond the program, And yeah, they're great to have. So we're going to be there. We're going to be with the store owner, and we're going to just take a kind of a walk through, show you the store, some promotions that may be going on, or something to highlight the dealership. And yeah, I look forward to that. It'll be our first remote live broadcast. I'm pretty sure it'll work. Can't have any promises here, but look for that next Tuesday. That'll be showing up on our profile page for live stream and WATVA. And we had some other stuff coming up where we're going to try to get some more guests on the show. I'm working with some chambers, invited them, kind of promote Where to Ride, getting ready for spring. We're all thinking spring, especially after this winter and lack of snow. Kind of makes it hard to ride out in the snow, on the snow trails at least. So those are things to watch for. If anyone else has anything they want to chime in on, say it in the chat right now. If you have a question or some suggestions or content you want to see, feel free to send us an email, info@watva.org, or go to our Facebook page, post us a message. You can tweet us, or you can leave a message on Google+. We're pretty active on sending out tweets and Facebook posts, not so much on Google+. But yeah, we're pretty easy to get a hold of. If you have any suggestions, if you have a product that you would like displayed, send us an email. We can kind of work out the details with that. But for the Wisconsin ATV Association, I'm Adam Hardin. This concludes episode 3 of Idle Chat, and we will see you guys next time.